Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. 24-year-old Arsenal player now admits he really lost confidence last season. Defender Takehiro Tomiyasu has admitted that he lost a lot of confidence at Arsenal last season. The Japanese international was speaking to Football London on the Gunners' pre-season tour of the United States. It's not been the easiest 12 months for Takehiro Tomiyasu. After losing his place in Arsenal's team to Ben White, he is mainly been used as a substitute. He then picked up a serious knee injury against Sporting in the Europa League that prematurely ended his campaign. The 24-year-old has since declared himself fully fit and will be raring to go for next season. However, Tomiyasu has admitted he lost his confidence at Arsenal last year as a result of his reduced minute and injury issues. He may not find it easy to work his way back into the team this season either. The signing of Julian Timber has only added further competition at both right back and centre half. His versatility still makes him a useful option for Mikel Arteta this season. It's hard to see where Tomiyasu earns his minute, given Arsenal's involvement in the Champions League, where Arteta will want his strongest side flying each week. Speaking about the previous campaign, Tomiyasu said, "Yes, it was a difficult period for me. Ben White was doing very well, and to be honest, I lost confidence, but the injury period was 4 months, and I thought about a lot of things at this time." There has already been a suggestion this summer that Tomiyasu could be shifted to left back permanently next season with Timber and White. Arteta now has two very strong options on the right-hand side. The January signing of Jakub Kiwior now provides more cover at centre-back, even if Rob Holding might depart. A position on the left seems to be the only place Tomiyasu might start to regain his confidence in an Arsenal shirt. Mikel Arteta now suggests he doesn't want to sell £25 million Arsenal player. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has admitted that Kieran Tierney is in his plans for next season. Arteta was speaking to the press via Football London ahead of their friendly against Barcelona. The Spanish Giants will be another good test for his Arsenal squad, with the Premier League season rapidly approaching. It's also less than 2 weeks until Mikel Arteta's side faces Manchester City in the Community Shield. Although results aren't particularly important in a pre-season, performances and building up fitness are. The loss to Manchester United would have been disappointing for this reason, as the Gunners didn't look particularly sharp. One player who did impress off the bench was Kieran Tierney. The Scottish fullback has been linked with a move away from the Emirates this summer. However, Arteta has suggested that Tierney is in his plans going into next season. The £25 million defender offers something different to Zinchenko at left back. Asked about whether the 26-year-old is in his plans, Arteta said, He is. He is obviously in our plans. He came on and did really good in pre-season, not for the first. And this is what we want, to increase the level of competition in the team and raise the level of each individual. That is going to be a huge benefit for the team to get to another level. There is no suggestion right now that Tierney is going to push to leave Arsenal this summer. Mikel Arteta has several options at left back currently, including Zinchenko and Tierney. The Ukrainian looks set to be first choice, although is still not fully fit after picking up an injury last season. Tierney or Jakub Kiwior could deputize for him while he continues to recover. Tierney is a very different fullback to Zinchenko, and that may appeal to Arteta, who will have several different plans going into next season. The Scot will hope that his patience at the Emirates earns him minute and potentially silverware too. Mikel Arteta suggests 22-year-old Arsenal player has it changed over the summer. Mikel Arteta has shared that Arsenal player Emile Smith Rowe has returned for a pre-season with a new energy and in a very good place. Arteta, speaking at his press conference via Football London, said that Smith Rowe had a really tough season last year. Arsenal's boss also praised Smith Rowe for the effort he applied to be ready for England's under-21s squad this summer, and that success has seemingly helped the playmaker return a changed man, Arteta said. We were all really happy as we knew it had been a really tough season for him with difficulties to overcome. He had opportunities to play with England at the end, and he put a lot of effort in to get into for that competition. We were all very happy to see him lift the trophy, and you can see he can do something different with his energy and the way he has come back. He is in a really good place. This news will come as a big relief to Arsenal fans who were understandably disappointed with Smith Rowe's role last season. The 22-year-old underwent groin surgery during the season in order to address a persistent issue. Upon his return, Arsenal were flying in the title race, and Smith Rowe lacked the match fitness to benefit the side immediately. It didn't seem the conditions were right for the midfielder to come straight back in, but he will be hoping now is his time. Emile Smith Rowe will be hoping he can be a real catalyst in Arsenal's attempt to mount another title bid this season. Whilst Arteta and Arsenal enjoyed a lot of praise for last season, the true test of his side will come. Arsenal now have higher expectations. They have spent heavily in the summer and they have returned to the Champions League football. It will be interesting to see what role Smith Rowe plays in Arsenal's friendly in the early hours of tomorrow morning. Mikel Arteta still hasn't decided whether to sell phenomenal Arsenal player. Mikel Arteta still hasn't made a decision on whether he's going to sell Balogun this summer. Journalist Chris Whitley was speaking to Nation World TV's YouTube channel about the young forward's future. With incomings at Arsenal slowing down, there is now a focus on who might be heading out of the club this summer. One player who fans will be split on right now is Balogun. The phenomenal forward has only played 10 first-team games for Arsenal but impressed on loan last season. Balogun has given Mikel Arteta a decision to make regarding his future after scoring 21 times in League One, with Gabriel Jesus expected to start the season as Arsenal's first-choice forward. Balogun will be battling with Edin Ketia to be his backup. However, that might not be enough to keep the American international happy after being the main man at Stade Reims last year. Speaking about the 22-year-old forward, Whitley said, "We know that Balogun can potentially be a 60, 70, 80 million pound player in the future. He is not there at the moment, but Arsenal do want a little bit more than that 40 million pound mark. I do feel like it's going to be a tough deal for them, Inter to do, but they are not going to give up. They are going to try and sign Balogun this summer. But as things stand, I think it's one to wait until the end of the transfer window because I don't think Mikel Arteta has made his final decision yet on Balogun. Balogun, of course, wants to play regular first-team football. He might find that difficult to get at Arsenal with the likes of Jesus and Martinelli ahead of him, of course. But if he has a good preseason, then who knows? And with Arsenal playing in the Champions League, he may have a better chance of playing regular first-team football. So let's wait and see on that one, but certainly one to watch. Arsenal closing in on very quick player who ticks all the boxes for Gunners. Arsenal have done very well in the summer transfer window so far, bringing in 3 top players. Now Arsenal are reportedly closing in on their 4th signing, who looks like a good prospect for the future. According to Tutto Mercato Web, the Gunners are on the verge of landing Bitello from Brazilian outfit Grêmio. The Italian outlet claims that a deal between Grêmio and Arsenal will be closed for the Serie A-linked midfielder this week. Even better for the Gunners, they are apparently getting a slight discount on Bitello. Arsenal will reportedly buy him for just £7 million rather than the £10 million Grêmio wanted. The Gunners have struggled in the Brazilian market before, signing the likes of Gabriel Martinelli and Marquinhos. Bitello has done well for Grêmio, his stats suggesting he is ready for a step up in his career. As per Transfer Market, he has clocked up 85 senior appearances for the club, registering an impressive 16 goals and 7 assists. Scouting outlet Breaking the Lines recently wrote a detailed feature article on Bitello in which Arsenal's name features heavily. a unique, versatile playmaker. They continue it. Bitello would provide a counter-attacking threat for Arsenal and could fill in as a backup on the right flank for Bukayo Saka. Alternatively, he could be a low-cost substitute for Romeo Lavia and provide a creative profile in central midfield, especially in the event that Arsenal sell Thomas Partey, a young, cheap, versatile option who could fit into the budget following the arrivals of Declan Rice, Havertz, and Yurian Timber. Bitello ticks all the boxes for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. They also deemed him very quick and a great striker of the ball with a great technical ability and passing range. All in all, Bitello looks like a great signing for the Gunners. Admittedly, he may need a bit of time to get up to speed in the Premier League. However, he is certainly going to the best club for it. At Arsenal, there are numerous Brazilian players who can take Bitello under their wing and help him acclimatize. And for £7 million, it's an inexpensive gamble for the Gunners. Arsenal eyeing extremely gifted £50 million midfielder closely, says a journalist. The latest news from a journalist, Graham Bailey, has shared that Arsenal are still involved in the transfer race for Romeo Lavia. Arsenal have been linked to Lavia for a while as they look to strengthen their squad during the summer transfer window. Now, journalist Graham Bailey has provided a new update on Lavia's future. He tweeted, Southampton have rejected opening bid from Liverpool for Romeo Lavia. Bid worth around £35 million with add-ons is way off of Southampton's £50 million asking price. Chelsea and Arsenal keeping abreast of the situation. With three of the biggest clubs in England all keen, Southampton will no doubt feel like they will be able to receive a high fee for the player. The incredible midfielder impressed many last season at Southampton, despite the club being relegated. He was a top defensive midfielder and would improve Arsenal. The £50 million valuation Southampton have placed on Lavia is no doubt very high. The highly rated midfielder is still only 19 and is already a good Premier League player. This, combined with his world-class potential, makes £50 million seem like a good valuation. The Gunners managed to have a great season last campaign. They finished second, and the signings they have already made this summer proves that they are looking to compete for the title again. If they want to compete with a strong squad like Manchester City, then they need to have a solid 25-man squad. Adding Lavia would help them massively. Mikel Arteta will have to rotate the squad a fair bit due to the Champions League, so being able to bring in an extremely gifted player like Lavia would be good. With Liverpool and Chelsea all keen, it looks like there could be a bidding war. With Arsenal the only team out of the three in the Champions League, they would no doubt have a good chance of winning the race should they make a bid. Arsenal now keeping tabs on Chelsea's move for incredible player. Arsenal are reportedly keeping tabs on Chelsea's move for Ajax winger Mohammed Kudus this summer. That's according to 90 Minute, which claims that Arsenal are known admirers of the Ghana international, but Mauricio Pochettino's men have made the first move to sign him. The Gunners have spent heavily during the early stages of the window as they have moved to bolster Mikel Arteta's squad with the additions of Havertz, Timber and Rice. Arteta has been searching for competition for Bukayo Saka over the past couple of transfer windows, but is yet to find the right man. Arsenal have missed out on the likes of Rafinha and Mykhailo Mudryk, but they could move for Mohammed Kudus this summer. Indeed, CBS journalist Benny Jacobs claimed just yesterday that the Gunners have already made contact over a move for Kudus, and with Chelsea making progress on a deal to land the 22-year-old, it seems that Arsenal are closely watching developments. 90 Minute claims that Chelsea have already held talks with Kudus representatives, but Arsenal and Manchester United are keeping watch. It's noted that Chelsea have made the first move and are confident personal terms will cause no issues, but they are yet to speak to Ajax over a fee. Arsenal really like the player and are keen to ensure they are up to date with any negotiations alongside Manchester United. Kudus has been lauded as an incredible talent after his start for Ajax last season. The talented youngster netted 18 times and provided 7 assists in all competitions. He also enjoyed an exceptional World Cup campaign with Ghana and has proven to be a versatile option for Ajax. Indeed, Kudus has operated across the front line and in midfield for the Eredivisie giants. Arsenal have been searching for a player like Kudus for quite some time now, and he seems like the perfect option for Arteta. But with a strong interest from their London rivals, they may have to move quickly in order to get a deal done. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.